here. I really appreciate it. My gosh, do we not have some updates to share? What a crazy, crazy month the entire month of March was. The last time that I was live, that we were live. What day was that? That was early March. Wasn't that like the first or second? I think it was like the first or I think it was actually the second week. I think it was the second week of March. It's been about a month. How are you doing? I'm going to get myself, I can talk. I'm going to get myself finished setting up here, set up here. Going to take off messages on or hide the chat on my phone. I use my phone to stream and laptop to see the chat. So just getting myself set up in the background. And as always, thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy day and your busy evening here to spend some time here. And we will be doing a general weekly tea leaf reading. So sort of back to our normal schedule. And let's aim again also for this Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be doing viewer readings, viewer tea leaf readings as always. So let me just get caught up here in the background and make sure that I'm seeing everything properly. So Dragonfly, thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are not aware, Dragonfly is one of my moderators. She is awesome and she is amazing. I could not do this without you, Dragonflies. So thank you so much for all of your help. And my sincere appreciation to every single individual who has been watching my videos, liking them, subscribing. It all means the world to me. So thank you so, so much. I did make a comment in the chat. Actually, I posted it a little bit. I made a reference to this in the description box of this video, as well as in the chat about sitting a bit funny. I am sitting, I don't know how well you can tell or if you can tell, but I am sitting sideways. As almost as comfortably as I possibly can. I'm sort of okay right now. So sitting funny's progress was a flat time. Was a time flat out was all you could do. So glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much, Dragonfly. Yeah, Dragonfly knows. So the last time that we spoke, I was in another location with my mom, and that was addressed. The reason why we were there was addressed in the last video. So she's doing very well. So quick progress update with my mom. She's actually doing excellent. Everything went as well as it possibly could, and now she's doing very well. So she is in the healing phase, and she's doing very well. I think it was 3 weeks ago. Today's Monday, right? I think it was about 3 weeks ago today. 3 weeks ago this morning, I ended up getting sciatica very badly, and it was really bad. It was really. I've had a lot of injuries throughout my life so far and throughout my lifetime, and this was by far the worst and the most painful. Awesome news about mom. Yes, thank you so much. And well, I think of this too. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much to everyone. I'm sorry, I can talk. For all of your thoughts and your prayers and well wishes for my mom. She's actually, yeah, she is doing very well. She's doing very well. She's it's she's doing well. So onwards we go, and we'll see what the next steps are. But for right now, we got through what we needed. Got through what we needed to get through, and she's doing really well. So thank you so much. Yeah, so I got sciatica. Never had that before. I laugh, but it was I've never been in that much pain in my entire life. I've had various injuries, but nothing compared to that. And yeah, actually, it resulted in an ambulance being called. But anyway, I am definitely on the mend, but I'm still not able to sit. I can more or less walk now, but sort of walk, but sitting is not quite, possible yet, so not properly. So hence me sitting sideways and shifting around a little bit. So yeah, I'm still like all numb and stuff. But anyway, I am on the mend. I am healing, so that's a good thing. So that was one of the main reasons why the past like couple weeks why just was not able to go live. Just could not do it. So I can manage it this time. So far so good. Steve's in the chat. Hey Steve, thanks so much for being here. Awesome to see you, and thanks for popping into the chat. Here you and your mama are on the mend. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a bit of a rough go. March was definitely rough, but we've gotten through it, and now onwards we go. See what's next. But thank you again for being here. And without further ado, those are the main channel updates. So again, I'm planning on right now being back at the normal schedule. So tonight being the general weekly tea leaf reading, everything is all set here in the back. Yeah, it's awesome. Everything is set here, ready to go. So we will be doing a general weekly tea leaf reading for this week, and then we'll be aimed to be back I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be. Come back on Thursday, and I'm going to be scheduling that live likely this evening, if not tomorrow. And let's see, we will aim to be back on Thursday, April the 18th. And that's going to be also at 8 p.m. Eastern as of now. If anything changes, whether I can or cannot go live, as you know, I always post in my community tab. So if you're ever not sure, if you're ever curious or wondering, it's on my community tab. So likewise for tonight, after this reading, I'm going to take a few pictures, maybe 3 or so pictures of the weekly reading, and post those over on my community tab. So you're welcome to go over and check them out and look and see what the tea leaves are for this week's reading. So you may hear Bree. She's just come back in from a little walk. So brace yourself for impact. Maybe we're rushing over here in 3, 2, 1. Here she comes. Bree, hi! Hi, baby. She's a little lab, so she doesn't jump up, but she comes over and says hi. Hi, Bree. Good girl. Oh, there you go. That was Bree. Hi, Bree. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, baby. Thursday, same station. Yes, exactly. For sure. Absolutely. So let's get the water reboiled again. I was boiling that off camera a few minutes ago, and we will go ahead with this tea leaf reading and see what the universe would like us to know as a look at the week ahead. Bree is still here, so she may throw herself into the table. So if the camera shakes again, apologies, that's Bree. Okay, so let's get everything set up here in the background. Okay, which mug are we working with tonight? We have this one over here. And I have tea. We're using a blend of green tea this evening. It is bagged, but it is green tea, so we're going to be using that. Just going to put that into the cup right now. I have a spoon over here, and I have a plate, so we're all set, ready to go. Paper towel over here. And quick disclaimer: if you're watching this, and if you're in the chat, you know this is all a hat for you. Quick disclaimer though, all the readings that I do offer are for entertainment purposes only. Just want to put that out there. Big long disclaimer in the description box below. That's the short version. So again, please take what you will, leave what you don't. Some, none, or all of the information may make sense to you, may resonate with you, may even apply to you, may not. And that's completely normal and to be expected. It's a general weekly tea leaf reading. So again, please take what you will, leave what you don't. She's saying hi. I know. Bree, that's enough.
Stop.
She sees someone outside. Sorry about that, everyone.
Get up here. Come with Mom.
Sorry, that was Bree. She was saying hi. She saw someone outside. She's protective.
Come here.
Good girl, Bree. So I've already said all of my protection prayers in advance, so we're all ready to go. Let's get the tea leaves ready. Okay. Just going to use my spoon and push the tea leaves back down into the cup. Sorry, I'm being very Canadian here, but sorry for any background noise over here. Just pushing the tea leaves back down into the cup. So, how is everyone keeping? Was your month of March as insane as it was over here for me? How are you all doing? How is everyone keeping? I'm gonna pop that into the chat. That'd be awesome. But I hope everyone's really keeping well, and that your month of April is going really well too. Just checking the consistency here. It's pretty good. Just going to strain out a little bit more. And there's our beautiful mod, Dragonfly. Thank you for all your help. Yes, we like to keep the chat nice and clean and clear. This is a lovely place where a lot of wonderful people gather. We get to hang out on our Monday nights and our Thursday evenings. Hang out, have a little visit. Until we can hang out in person, this is the next best thing, right? Okay, let's check the consistency. It's pretty good. Also, if you're interested, if you are on TikTok, I do have a link in my link tree that's also in the description box below. I am posting more more on there more frequently now. So if you are interested to see what content I'm posting over there, welcome to go check that out and see that account over there. Thank you. Shameless plug. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So we have the consistency correct. My camera's quite tilted, so I am holding this straight. It just doesn't look like I am, but I am. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Oh, I didn't spill anything. Yes. It's a good day. It's a good day. Just going to turn and rotate this mug 3 or 4 times, clockwise, always clockwise for tradition, always clockwise. See what the universe would like us to know as I look at the week ahead. I really miss coming on live. I really missed our lives. I really missed our visits. It's really fun. As far as I'm concerned, we're all friends. We're all friends. We're all hanging out, spending some nice time together on our Monday evenings and Thursday evenings. And I really miss that. So it's fun to be back. I will aim to have this recording posted. Most likely it will be tomorrow. Right now I'm just allowing any excess liquid tea to strain out of the cup. Aw, Dragonfly, thank you so much. It's so sweet of you. I did try to keep everyone updated as much as I possibly could on my community tab. Just allowing any excess tea to strain out of the cup. Just getting that right now. This prevents any pooling in the base, which changes the images which are in the base, which is fine, within reason, but I like to prevent that from happening if possible. Okay, so what I always like to do is show you the tea leaves first, even before I see them. So here you are. I'm going to post them over on the community tab afterwards. There you go. Okay, ready? Let's go. So we'll aim for 20-ish minutes as we like to usually aim for. But we'll aim for about 20 minutes and we'll see how we get along. Okay, ready? Let's go. What time are we at? What time is it actually right now? So it's 8:15. Okay, good to know. Okay, let's go. Oh, sorry, Steve. I just see your message now. Thought I kept missing your lives because the algorithm missed your posts. That life was getting you. Thank you so much, Steve. That's so sweet of you to say. Thank you so much. No, yeah, it was not the algorithm. No, I just I wanted to go live every single Monday and every single Thursday, but for a while there, I just was in no fit state for a few reasons, obviously, I just mentioned. Could not go live. You're so sweet. Thank you. No. Yeah, it was getting real for sure. For sure. Okay. Well, it looks like this week is going to be getting real for at least some of us. So it looks as though to me we have a layout that we do often see where we have one main event or situation that's being shown in the cup. That's this line of events right here. That's like the main. Oh, thank you so much. That's like the main hub, the main message, the main core message of the week. And it is approximately, see, the thing is, it's interesting to me because it's not like it's a huge event or scenario overall. It's approximately like 1/8 or so of the cup. So it's really not hugely important or significant. However, in and of itself, it is. There's a lot that's involved in this scenario. Looks as though to me as though we have a very nice mixture of thoughts, ideas, conversations, things along those lines that are taking place throughout the week. Oh, and as a quick reminder, I read chronologically. That's just how I do it. I know different people who read tea leaves and read cups read differently. I do chronologically. So for me, the rim is the present situation. The sides are on the way. Base is more of the distant future. So it's like now on the way in later. So approximately for us around here is around Wednesday. And then the base is like for this Friday heading into the weekend. So, but it looks like as though this week unfolds with this main event or situation. Yes, there's a lovely combination here of conversations, things, ideas. Things are up in the air a little bit. a lot of conversations, ideas being presented, being contemplated, and not really being like concrete presented in front of us, if that makes sense. And also some surprises as well. So there's, for the majority, like for the most part, a lot of things look like they are up in the air for the most part. However, we do have some events or scenarios which are part of this main event or situation as it unfolds, where things really are more present, more real, more apparent, again, as the week unfolds. Some surprises. That's another nice way to say it, is some events or scenarios here that we're really not supposed to know everything about, but we can know some things about. That really flows. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yes. That's interesting. So that flows into the base, which is more of this weekend heading into next week. And we'll go into more detail. This is a very quick overview here. However, it looks as though like the majority of what's being shown in here is in the base. So later on again this weekend heading into next week. And it's one main overall event or situation that's being presented in here. It's very positive, I would say. However, it's like one whole thing across the board, one main event or scenario, and it does have different parts or aspects to it. Specifically, 3 as well as a 4th. Oh, hang on, there's a little bit of liquid tea I'm just seeing in the base just now. It's going to really annoy me if I don't strain it out. Sorry, one moment. It's just as I was holding. Okay, there we go. My detailed nature coming out, but I just don't want it to shift any of the other images which are being shown here in the base. Okay, better. Thank you. Yeah. So again, there's like 4. There's 1, 2, 3. There's, hang on, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So essentially, there's 4 scenarios, 3 of which are more important or more significant than the 4th. That's this weekend, but we'll get into all those details. As the week unfolds, aside from this one main event or situation, which we will look at, we do have several other individual scenarios, really not very important or significant at all, but they are like lines of events, a series of events or scenarios taking place, which, sorry, that's Brie in the background. She's having a little drink. We have 1, we'll say that's 1, we'll say that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I want to count them, 7, she's really thirsty, 8, we'll see, that's 8. We'll say 8 to 9. It depends on how you want to view one of them. 8 or 9 individual scenarios taking place in addition to the main event. But again, we'll look into all of these in more detail. With the main event or situation, okay, let's take a look at this one and see what we see. Begin at the beginning. Whatever it is, I mean, there's a happy face that begins, like the whole event or scenario begins with. So I would say that it is a positive scenario. That happiness, the happy face there, is there's definitely I would say a sense of unconventional stability. So when I say that, what I mean by that is, for example, you paint boxes, sell them online, and make money. So it's unique, but it does give a sense of stability. Somehow involved in that scenario, we do either have, we either have a departed loved one who is making themselves known. I wish I could give more details. However, that's all that I'm really seeing in here. That's involved in this scenario. And or we do have a time of self-care, going within, introspection, reflection, reflective time, going within, taking some time out for our own self-care, going within, things along those lines, things of that nature. But we do have a lot of happy faces. So whatever the situation again is referring to, in the same vicinity, like right beside each other, we do have 2 happy faces. So it looks like it's a good scenario. I think we're starting off very well. Person, place, or thing with the letter C that's involved. That actually has 2 parts to it. One is much more significant than the other one. And it actually may involve writing in some way, shape, or form, like writing. Likely a Cancerian connection, so someone who is either that sign, I would say like that's likely the case. So someone who likely is Cancerian, who is involved in that situation. This is really providing a sense of stability that has two parts to it. And or it's related to a partnership in some way, shape, or form. Letter E, person, place, or thing is involved in that situation. Now, if it is not Cancerian, if it's not referring to someone who is that sign, then it's the qualities and or characteristics of that sign. I'm no astrologer, no, I'm not a numerologist. I'm just saying that. However, it's either or. It's either someone who is that sign or the qualities involved in this that are present in this scenario. There are helpful people, though, that are involved, too, specifically with the letter E that I just mentioned a moment ago. Happy faces abound. I keep seeing them. Looks like right now and maybe tomorrow, I would say as well. Things are going well. We're happy. It looks good. Yeah. There's definitely there's someone involved. This could be ourselves or someone else who is taking time out for our own self-care. Somehow organization, getting things organized and tidied up, sorted out in some way. Those qualities are present. And this involves a new opportunity, a new idea that's being contemplated in some way. Maybe even this new idea may have something to do with about getting things organized in some way. There's a connection there. It's all connected. Forward movement, positive forward movement. Things going well. But again, there's two people. I keep seeing it. Second time I've seen it in the same vicinity for me. So again, likely whether it's happening now and or likely even tomorrow, there's two people involved in two different scenarios. One more significant than the other, or simply that one is taller than the other. Not to be repetitive here, but I keep seeing happy faces. And again, throughout this whole scenario, we have a lot of conversations, things, ideas up in the air, things along those lines. Yeah. Again, I keep seeing it at the beginning of this whole scenario. We do have new ideas that are being presented in different ideas. There's at least, I'm seeing 3 so far specifically. Nothing huge in and of themselves, but they are present. So I'm mentioning that in case it may apply or resonate with you in some way. Open conversations between 2 individuals. Something about getting things organized, reaping what we sow, not being held back, going for whatever it is that we want to have, getting that return, like reaping our harvest, essentially. There's a scythe. Could literally also be referencing the letter R as well. So person, place, or thing with the letter R involved in the name. Yeah, not being held back, going for what we want to have, happiness, jubilation. But again, we have this open communication between 2 individuals in that scenario specifically. Those 2 individuals specifically are either at a very close distance with each other. No, I would say not. I would say likely it's like a phone call or a video call of some kind. Okay, let's keep going. So this is what I was referencing earlier. This main event or situation, it's not like it's a huge event. It's just that there's a lot. It's very compact. There's a lot of there's many things happening all at once in this whole scenario. So I'm really having to peer and make sure that I'm seeing everything I possibly can. Just a moment. Letter S, person, place, or thing. that also involves that quality of sort of taking some time out for our own self-care, retrospective, pacing ourselves, things along those lines. And somehow this involves another female. This involves a female. And oh my God, Auntie Shelley's here.
What about that?
Mom, Auntie Shelley's here online.
Hello.
Auntie Shelley, everyone. Meet Auntie Shelley. Let's say hi to Auntie Shelley, everyone. Auntie Shelley, she's known me since before I was born. Mwah. Hi. Thanks so much for being here. Aw.
Thank you for your card.
Thank you, Mom. Oh, Mom says thank you very much for your card. It's on our dining room table right now, actually. Aw, thanks so much for being here, Auntie Shelley. Aw. She's my godmother. She's known me since before I was born. Aw, that's so cool. Thank you so much, Auntie Shelley. Aw, I love you. Oh, yeah, it's so much fun. You brighten my night. And you have the letter S in your name too. So we just talked about the letter S. So that's really cool. Okay. Involved in that scenario that I was just mentioning with the letter S, we have a young female, or at the very least a female, who is involved. But again, it's like I keep seeing people sitting. There's a lot of references here at the beginning of this week to taking time out for our own self-care in various different ways or in different scenarios in some way, shape, or form. Aw, Dragonfly said, welcome, Auntie Shelley. Oh, that's so cool. Auntie Shelley, like the best people are on the call. Like I'm not even kidding. Everyone who's always in the chat are phenomenal people. So you've just met a whole new family in here. I'm not even kidding you. Yeah, with this scenario here specifically, there's definitely there even may be like literally a Sagittarius connection, but there's this action, speed, momentum, things taking place rather quickly, going for whatever it is that we want to have, not being held back. All of those qualities are present. But again, it also comes with this introspective, retrospectiveness, going within scenario quality. Yeah, but it's a female involved. Also, like really standing in our power though too. And with that standing in our power, there's also abundance and prosperity that's associated with that. And receiving communications likely about the homeland or family, and there's likely either the letter E that's involved, and or there's 3 different parts to it. Whatever this scenario is involved or whatever it's referencing, it is quite stable. Maybe a little bit more going on than what meets the eye. Actually, I would say that's totally true. There's also sorry, moving around a little bit. There's also the letter J, person, place, or thing that's involved. And somehow this does involve a new opportunity that's being presented with the letter G, and also a conclusion that's also being shown. Nothing horrible or anything. It's just that there is a conclusion that's also being shown. But again, receiving communication in 2 different instances, both homeland or family. The first one is a bit more significant or more apparent than the second one. But what's interesting about this whole scenario is that we also have a letter V, person, place, or thing that's involved. And there are surprises throughout this whole scenario. Like I can see what the images are. It's just that we can't see sort of what's happening inside of them. Me going into teaching mode, I know, I'm sorry about that, but what I'm trying to say is there's more happening here than what meets the eye. Okay, we're not supposed to know everything right now, but I would say it does involve working with at least one other individual, and there's likely some form of open communication between 2 people. Abundance and prosperity as well. Likely the number 5 is involved with this as well. So I'm not a numerologist, but yeah, there's a number 5 in here, and also another letter S. So for me, 5s represent change. That's just what it means to me. So I would say likely some form of positive change taking place around Tuesday heading into Wednesday. This actually may involve, for some of us, it may involve the house and our home and our family a little bit. Oh, Jen, hi, thanks for being here. Welcome. Thanks for the gold heart. Small reminder that the angels are around us at all times. I firmly believe that anyway, but a reminder here that the angels are present in this scenario, helping us. There's also a gentleness that's present around this whole situation, gentle energy. Likely someone who is a Leo. likely someone who is a Leo. Now, if it isn't referencing someone who is a Leo specifically, then it's referencing rather something to do with the family, the lineage, something to that effect. Likely a female with a prominent nose. They may also have a prominent chin too. Just saying that in case it makes sense to you. May resonate with you. Action, momentum, things, not being held back, going for whatever it is that you want to have, but definitely this gentle energy. Also, in a very kindly, very fun-loving, very positive way, thinking uniquely, thinking differently, thinking independently, independent thought in some way, shape, or form. Again, letter E, person, place, or thing. This is how it is with tea leaf reading. I sort of go in, I look more closely at the leaves to get more detail. And then by sort of going back, I do get more like an overall pattern as well. So I'm constantly going in and out all the time. More of the same. This independent thought, but it's in a very gentle, loving and caring way. Again, at this possibly travel coming up, and I meant to mention this before, and I totally forgot to, but some of us may be going on a bit of a trip this Friday, this Friday. Whether that's work related or not, I don't know, but again, it looks like it's fairly significant. So yes, possibly some foreign travel involved, but action, momentum, things going, not being held back, going for whatever it is that you want to have. This action, momentum happening around Wednesday specifically in this scenario. Again, letter J and or letter Y as well. Okay, so we have letter U. We have a few letters. U, J, and or Y. So combination of letters there. Okay. So then we're looking at around Wednesday right now. Excuse me. We have a very intriguing scenario here where we have open communication between two people. Yes, this is where the letter J and the U specifically are related to. Letter W. These are all people, places, or things. But it's a loving scenario. There's a bit of a heart there. So it is a loving scenario. It is significant. Likely involves a house and or home and or family. Likely something to do with location or property in some way or shape or form. In some way, shape, or form. Now, there also, again, may be a Sagittarius connection. I'm mentioning that in case it may apply to you or may resonate with you or not, but I'm mentioning that in case it does. And again, it seems to be a theme, open communication between two people. In this scenario specifically, one does appear to be female. Number 3, again, not a numerologist, but working with other people. It's one of the meanings that I associate with the number 3. This is all related to, yes, possibly a letter V as well, person, place, or thing, but multiple people involved, working with many people. Letter W. Again, we have more letters here, but letter Y and J have come up again. So U, Y, or J, and W. Twice in the same vicinity. I take that as being quite significant. So those are people, places, or things that are involved in that scenario. So now we're looking towards, let me finish off Wednesday here. Yeah. Some kind of, it's a small scenario, but involves, there's a scenario here around Wednesday with it, from what I'm seeing, involves abundance and prosperity. Taking, like, again, taking that time out for our own self-care in whatever way or ways that may be, whatever that may be, reading a book, saying some prayers, being introspective, like whatever the case is, like going within to connect to source, things along those lines. And that's related to this abundance and prosperity. And also this abundance and prosperity, it's like it results in another scenario. So the best way that I can describe this, I use metaphors a lot because I find it describes what I'm trying to say, because tea leaf reading really is literal, symbolic, and or both, clearly. So for example, you own a store where you sell yarn. Okay, you own a yarn store. Then you decide to promote knitting classes. Okay, so one abundance comes from another abundance. Is this that's the scenario that I'm seeing in here. Okay, now let's head into around Thursday. But this does totally, this is what I was sort of getting before. There's this gentleness that's involved, this gentle energy, unconditional love, support, loyalty, commitment, protection, companionship that's involved. There's a dog, so. Speaking of, I think ours is outside still. Okay, so continue on. Okay, now we're heading into around Thursday. Again, letter J, person, place, or, person, place, or thing. As well as the letter W. So J and or W, and Y as well. Thanks, Dragonfly. You're on fire tonight. Yay! Thank you. Thanks for all your help. Couldn't do it without you. This involves working with other people. This letter J, person, place, or thing. Yes, it is a form of abundance and prosperity. And again, we have this one abundance and prosperity that leads to another abundance and prosperity. And in both cases, though, I would say they are related. And whether it's the same scenario that progresses very nicely, like it progresses almost like day to day later on this week, could totally be referencing that. If not, then it's another, Bree's coming over to say hi again. Hi, Bee. Good girl. Or it's another scenario, or it's another scenario that's very similar to that, that's a bit more significant. So there's two different ways basically that we could interpret or look at these scenarios. Okay. But definitely abundance and prosperity. Okay. You can hear a little bit more. Okay, what do we have happening here on Thursday? What else? Let's take a look. Again, lots of conversations, that's for sure. A new creative project, a successful venture of some kind. This involves a female. No, this could be whomever this individual is. It could be whomever this is. There's a female involved. New opportunity that's just about ready to be presented regarding that. Likely has the letter M that's involved. Has two different parts to it. Again, there's surprises throughout this whole scenario. Not supposed to know all the details. I sound so repetitive by saying this again, but I'll say this again because it's what I'm seeing. I keep seeing references, I keep seeing images to people sitting down. Now, whenever I see that, that's usually when I say taking some time out for our own self-care, being introspective, whatever the case is. And I keep seeing that throughout this week. So I would say that like a bonus message or an extra message or an overall or even an overall message throughout this week is for all of us is, at least for some of us, take what you will, leave what you don't, is just take some time out for our own self-care, pace ourselves. It's okay to sort of slow down a little bit, notice what's around us, be introspective, go within to connect to source, things along those lines. So now we're looking at like Thursday, heading into Friday thereabouts. We do have some scenarios in here that definitely are surprises, for sure. It's sort of like that was the case around the beginning of this week, and then again as we head into like the latter part of this week, for sure. So let's see what's happening in here. Again, letter W, person, place, or thing. Again, this introspectiveness I keep seeing. Now, this could also be referencing a departed loved one. I wish I could give more details. The only thing that I can really say is there may be a letter V in their name, person, place, or thing. Likely a female, to be honest. Okay. There are some surprises taking place in there. But again, we have the swiftness of movement, this fleetness, not being held back, going for whatever it is that you want to have, action and momentum. I mean, things along those lines, things of that nature. So things are like, okay, they're moving. Things are going ahead quite nicely, quite quickly in that scenario specifically. Okay, let's keep going. Letters E and or W, most likely letter W, maybe letter U again. It's showing up here. Yeah. This idea, like this concept of transformation, multitasking, being able to do different things at different times, but transformation, change in a very unique way, transformative in some way, shape, or form. In one individual instance, one individual scenario. May literally also have the number 2 that's involved. I'm not a numerologist, so again, please take what you will, leave what you don't. Also, like the qualities like grace and beauty involved in that scenario specifically, as well as like unconditional love, support, protection, guardianship, things along those lines. Oh, 1 second. I clicked the button on my computer. Hey, 1 second. I'm trying to like clear it. I zoom in on my computer so much because I'm very short-sighted. I have to see what's the chat. And I clicked the button. Oh, there we go. That's better. Sorry about that. Real life. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, so there we go. Looking into Friday. Again, transformation, changes, positive changes. Much the same messages throughout the week. But this positive change that I'm seeing on around Thursday, maybe and Friday, working with many people, like working with multiple people. It's a unique scenario. Letter E and or C, letters E and or C that are involved. Being able to get things done rather quickly. And again, this unconditional support, loyalty, commitment, partnership. No, not so much partnership, but guardianship, protection, things along those, not like things along those lines. Not like, oh, we're in danger. No, just like divine protection. A reminder, I would say. Taking some time out again for our own self-care, appreciating those who are around us. Okay. And this helps lead to a very unique scenario. What's involved here? Okay, well, we have a few things happening, some of which we just don't know the answers to. I can't see what's inside. I can't see like all the details. There's some surprises here. However, it does involve working with other people. And it's like one scenario that has like 5 different parts to it. It's that kind of scenario that one thing is happening, but at the same time, there's like 4 other things in tandem taking place at basically more or less exactly the same time. That kind of situation. Likely partnerships in some way, shape, or form. Letter A, person, place, or thing, as well as a house, like a property in some capacity. Letter P, again, property is also involved, I would say. Helpful individual, likely a male. Letter J and C, new opportunities. Okay. And very interestingly, there's about 3, specifically 2, but I would say ultimately like 4 or 5 people who are involved who are helpful individuals. Almost like I don't want to say peanut gallery because I don't even like that phrase, but they're sitting off to the side. They're observing very loving, very positive individuals, and somehow they are involved in this scenario. Even if they're not involved directly, they are sort of apparent. They are related to the scenario in some way. I would say simply said, I would say there's helpful individuals involved, probably around 5 of them. Anywhere from 4 to 5 people. Okay. At this point in time, this leads directly into the base, and there's a lot of conversations that sort of take place after we see their faces. So again, heading into this weekend. Okay, again, forward movement, not being held back. It's really nice to see that. Someone's walking. Oh, gee, I wonder what that feels like. I can walk. I just still limp. That's okay. Okay, yeah, but someone is walking, so there's forward movement that's being indicated here. 2 people in close communication. Again, reaping what we sow, returns on rewards, things along those lines. Helpful individual, likely a male, and there's also reassurance that's regarding that situation overall. Again, this forward movement, also getting things tied up, sorted out in some way, shape, or form, like organizing. Also, we have a number 4. So 4 for me does represent Sagittarius because of Jupiter. It just does. It's just me. So there could be another Sagittarius connection, like travel, visionary, things along those lines. However, it could also literally be referencing the angels and or stability. Okay. And there also could be, likely a Taurus connection. There's also could very likely be a Taurus connection that's involved in that scenario as well. Now we're in the base. Again, where most of the tea leaves are, as you can see, there's a lot in here, and you can see from how tightly grouped they are, the images, the leaves. We don't really know exactly what's happening because they're very tightly grouped. Other words, yes, a surprise. Totally, I would say at least one of them or 2 parts of them actually related, do involve, or they are related to a house, property in some way, shape, or form. But it does involve, yes, there's a helpful individual, likely a female who is involved. This does involve open communication, but receiving communication, like receiving positive news in some way. Literally could be referencing, yes, we are receiving messages about the home and our family, house and our home, things along those lines. Lots of communication that's being shown in here. Small reminder here for glass half full versus glass half empty, perspective, perception, that whole conversation. Standing in our power, not backing down from a scenario that we're happy, to proceed with. Standing our ground. Keep seeing references in here to property. Now, that specifically is related, I would say, to this trip or this smaller event that takes place on Friday. If it is not a trip that is taking place on Friday, then it's likely an event. But whatever it is, it's short term, but highly significant. Okay. Whether that is referencing a trip and or an event, I would say that applies in both cases. House under home, home under family. Large house. There's a large house in here overall. Partnership. Could literally be referencing the number 8. Again, a unique transformation, a unique positive change in some way. In some way. I wish I could give more detail, but it has something to, there's a reference with that specifically with abundance and prosperity. But what it is, I can't say. I don't know. We're not supposed to know. Not right now. Maybe later. But again, whatever it is, I'm very curious to see what this is ultimately is referring to. Because again, we do have those like 4 different parts that this is referencing, 2 of which are very significant. This all has to do in here though with ideas being contemplated. Keep seeing there are references to these new ideas, these new opportunities, whichever word or words you want to use, whatever word or words or phrases you want to use, but these opportunities and or ideas that are being presented, that are being contemplated. 2 of them specifically. But again, this forward movement, not being held back, going for whatever it is that we want to have. Like we also, a Scorpio connection in some way, shape, or form. And also, again, like the letter, number 5. So change, transformation, things along those lines. Some kind of change. It doesn't appear to be a huge change, but the fact that we have a 5 for me, which represents change, or besides Scorpio, which can also represent transformation in some way, shape, or form, there's probably, there's a significance there. So I'm very curious to see what is going to be taking place this weekend. So we'll end it there. Thank you so much for hanging in with me this long. I really appreciate it. We went a little over time, but I always like to go over time if possible, whenever possible, to relay as much information as I possibly can. So thank you so much. I hope everyone enjoyed that tea leaf reading, and I'm going to be posting pictures of this reading on my community tab. If I don't do it tonight, I'll likely get it up tomorrow. And I also aim to have this recording posted tomorrow as well. I'll aim for tomorrow morning. But yeah, I think we'll end it there. She says as she continues to look at the tea leaves. Okay, one more quick check. So looking at those other smaller events or situations around the sides of the cup that I said really are not that important or significant, I totally say that's true still. However, I am a little curious of this one grouping over here. So it actually has 2 different parts to it. So that's why I said like 8 or 9 different, I think I said like 8 or 9 different scenarios in addition to the main event or scenario taking place this week. Because this one scenario does have 2 parts. One is much more significant than the other part. However, they both are referencing stability in some way, shape, or form. Both are unique, rather unique senses of rather unique stability, unconventional stability. Lots of conversations, thoughts, and words regarding them both. And again, something to do with house and or home and or family with them, but also, positive change, a new opportunity that is significant, even though it's not very significant in and of itself. There's not a lot of things. It's like the reverse of the main event or scenario. There may not be a lot of things taking place in these 2 scenarios specifically. However, overall, they are, are rather significant. And it's something to do with a positive change, positive opportunity. I mean, that is unique, does have a Cancerian connection. So again, someone who is that sign and or the qualities and or characteristics of that sign. And it does result in a small scenario that does help to lead into the base. Specifically Friday, actually. that event that I mentioned on Friday? Looks good. It looks good when there's two people in open conversation. So we will for sure leave that there. So thank you everyone so much for hanging out with me. It was really great to be back. Really fun to hang out with all of you again. And we had a lovely crowd in here as we always do. So thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this tea leaf reading. And again, we'll aim to be back here. What did you say, Steve? It's like same tea, same station on Thursday, 18th. I am so short-sighted here. That's better. Thursday, April the 18th at 8 p.m. I'm going to be scheduling that live again. If I don't do it tonight, I'll do it probably tomorrow, and that will show up on my live tab. You can see that live that will be scheduled. So hope that you can hang out again here on Thursday. And until then, we'll have an awesome evening and a great week ahead. Thank you, Steve. Thanks so much for hanging out. That's awesome. Okay, everyone, have a great evening. Love you all so much. Great to be back. Thanks so much for all of your patience and all your prayers and all your support. So appreciate it. It definitely was a rough month, but we're definitely on the mend, and it's great to be back. So love you all so much. Take good care, and we'll see you again here on Thursday. Bye.